The Exorcist scared audiences in 1973. It was a groundbreaking film that pushed the boundaries of horror and left an indelible mark on the genre. People flocked to theatres, some fainting, others running out in terror. It still scares us today. The film's ability to terrify remains unmatched, and it continues to draw new generations of horror fans who seek the ultimate fright. This essay explores why the movie is so effective. We'll delve into the elements that make it a timeless classic, from its chilling narrative to its unforgettable characters. We'll look at the realism, themes, sound, and special effects. These components work together to create an atmosphere of dread that lingers long after the credits roll. The Exorcist isn't just a scary movie, it's a deeply psychological experience that taps into our primal fears. It's a story about faith, doubt, and the fight against evil. The characters' struggles with their beliefs add layers of complexity to the horror. The movie asks big questions about good and evil. It challenges viewers to confront their own beliefs and fears. These themes make the horror even more powerful. The fear is not just of the supernatural, but of the unknown and the unseen forces that may be at play. Director William Friedkin wanted to make the audience believe. His meticulous attention to detail and commitment to authenticity set the film apart. He used realistic sets, lighting, and camera work. Every element was designed to immerse the audience in the story, making the terror feel real. The result is a movie that feels like a nightmare come true. Its impact is visceral, leaving viewers with a sense of unease that is hard to shake. The Exorcist set a new standard for horror movies. Its legacy endures, influencing countless films and continuing to be a benchmark for what horror can achieve. Friedkin wanted The Exorcist to feel real. He used a documentary-style approach. The camera shakes. The lighting is often dark and grainy. This makes the movie feel like we're watching something truly disturbing. The actors also deliver realistic performances. Ellen Burstyn plays a desperate mother. Linda Blair as the possessed Regan is unforgettable. Their performances make the horror believable. The movie doesn't rely on cheap scares. The horror builds slowly. We see Regan's transformation from a sweet girl into something evil. This slow burn makes the scary parts even more effective. The Exorcist isn't just about scaring us. It makes us think about big questions. What happens when evil invades our world? How do we fight something we don't understand? The movie explores the theme of faith. Father Karras, a priest, doubts his faith. He must confront his doubts to help Regan. This struggle with faith makes the movie more than just a horror story. The Exorcist also shows us the fragility of human life. Regan's possession reminds us that we are vulnerable. This vulnerability makes the horror more real and relatable. Section 4. Sounds of terror. Sound is crucial in horror movies. The Exorcist uses sound brilliantly to create fear. The soundtrack is unsettling. Strange noises and whispers put us on edge. The sound effects are realistic and disturbing. We hear Regan's voice change as she becomes possessed. The sounds of the exorcism are terrifying. These sounds stay with us long after the movie ends. The sound design in The Exorcist was groundbreaking. It showed how sound could be used to create a truly terrifying experience. Section 5. Seeing is believing. Special effects were crucial in making The Exorcist one of the scariest movies of all time. The film's ability to terrify audiences relied heavily on the groundbreaking work of its special effects team. The makeup effects used on Regan, the possessed girl, are still shocking today. The detailed wounds, scars, and demonic features transformed her into a nightmarish figure that haunts viewers' memories. Her transformation is both repulsive and fascinating, capturing the audience's attention and evoking strong emotional reactions. The stark contrast between her innocent appearance and her possessed state is unforgettable. The movie also uses practical effects to create memorable scares. From moving furniture to eerie sounds, these effects added a layer of authenticity that CGI often lacks. The levitation scene and the vomiting scene are still effective, even by today's standards. These moments are etched into the history of horror cinema for their sheer impact and realism. These effects were innovative for their time, pushing the boundaries of what was possible in film. They set a new standard for horror movies and inspired countless filmmakers. They helped to create a new level of realism in horror, making the supernatural elements feel disturbingly real. This realism drew audiences deeper into the story, making the scares more effective. The combination of practical effects and makeup created a truly terrifying visual experience. The seamless integration of these elements made the horror believable and immersive. The Exorcist showed that horror could be both scary and visually stunning. Its legacy lives on, proving that seeing is indeed believing when it comes to the power of special effects in horror. Section 6. A Legacy of Fear. This chapter delves into the profound impact of one of the most iconic horror films ever made. The Exorcist remains a landmark horror film. Released in 1973, it shocked audiences worldwide with its intense and terrifying portrayal of demonic possession. Its realism, themes, sound, and special effects worked together to create enduring terror. The meticulous attention to detail in the special effects and sound design set it apart from other films of its time. The movie is a reminder that true horror comes from what we believe. It taps into our deepest fears and makes us confront the unknown. The film's influence on horror movies is undeniable. It paved the way for future horror films to explore more complex and psychological themes. It set a new standard for realism and intensity. The performances were so convincing that they left a lasting impression on viewers. More importantly, it showed that horror could be more than just cheap scares. It could be a medium to explore human emotions and societal issues. It could explore deep themes and make us question our beliefs. The Exorcist challenged the boundaries of the genre and opened up new possibilities for storytelling. If you haven't seen The Exorcist, watch it. It's a must-see for any horror enthusiast and a testament to the power of cinema. Experience the movie that redefined horror. Feel the fear that captivated audiences and set a new benchmark for the genre. Just be prepared to be scared. The Exorcist is not just a movie. It's an experience that will stay with you long after the credits roll.